Now, a lot of people are talking about these tariffs, and a lot of people are fearful. I do lots of LLCs, corporations, and again, I wrote the book El Presidente, The American Dream in 2015, and I started telling a lot of individuals they're going to deport 12, 14 million people, sent it to Trump in 16. He signed off on it. And I told a whole chapter about deportation, what it's going to look like, what you could do to protect your assets and everything that you're doing. So right now, I prepared my household. For example, I bought a generator, and my wife was complaining that I paid $12,000 for it. But in that first week, our lights had gone off because of a storm and everything. And so my lights turned off like everybody else for 1 minute, and then my lights kicked on. So preparation meets opportunity. So I tell people right now, these tariffs, I've been preparing. What does that mean? I've been stocking up. I've been stocking up for whatever materials that I need at my house, as far as going to Sam's, buying in bulk. Anything that's not perishable, I bought 2 or 3 at one time, and every time I go to Sam's, I buy 2. So my garage looks like a grocery store now, and my brother says all the time I come over here, I want to bring some grocery bags because I'm able to buy some groceries. So I got my wife on prevention mode, because usually she's very frugal and wants to save and everything. But when the storms came, the lights were on. We had groceries at the house. We had our tanks full of gas, when we didn't have to go out and go to all the craziness of finding gas or finding groceries, or that our lights are off and suffering with the kids. My grandkids were a minute without lights, and the next minute they were watching a Miss Rachel show and everything else, running in the house like nothing was going on. And so I tell people all the time, it's called prevention. It's called being proactive and getting stuff ready. So these tariffs from China and all these people that, oh, my prices are going to go up. Well, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people that already been thinking about these tariffs, filled up the warehouses, and there's warehouses full of merchandise waiting for these tariffs to go into place so they can double, 10 times whatever they were selling products for. So act like tomorrow the grocery store is going to be empty. Go out and start buying your supplies. Start giving the non-perishable goods that you can put in there that won't go wasteful. Get you a freezer. Store up meat. Store up those things. And there's rations out there that are created for the military. Well, I wouldn't want to eat those stuff. Well, in times of famine, in times of things, we'll eat anything that's out there, So I tell people all the time, it's called prevention and being proactive, to do the things that you're going to need to do, regardless of how crazy it looks, regardless of what people are going to say. Go out and do that. Now, we're talking about cryptocurrency. Your cash, as we know it, that currency dollar bills, they might be worthless tomorrow. Inflation might eat up that currency, that your $20 is no longer $20. And I'll give you an example. You got $20, you go to the grocery store, and the grocery store gets the $20. Then they go out and pay their vendors whatever they're paying for the supplies in their store, and that's $20. But use a credit card. Once you use a credit card for $20, they take 3% right off the bat. So that means that $20 is no longer $20. And the next person uses another credit card. Well, that's another 3%. Before you know it, that money has now been devaluated. And this is what's going to happen with the dollar right now when it goes into digital, because these main players want to eat your money by using digital currency, the debit cards, credit cards, whatever you want to call them. This is the game that they're playing. And until you recognize this game, you're in a game without any rules, and you're going to be punished. You're going to be left out, and you're the Ponzi, the punts, if you want to say it that way, of being left out of what the system really is.